Alright, now it's in the car. That's what it's at, dude. This is motherfucker. Right here, when you scratch your left ass, I'll scratch my right ass. There we go. Wrong one. There we go.
I'm just saying, don't set up the camera and walk over behind the table without starting it, because then one of us actually has to make some effort to walk back around.
That's your job, man. Welcome to 4C, C4, whatever.
First and foremost, I'm tired.
We have been failed.
Multiple times.
It seems that everyone we know is like, dude, your show is great, we want to be on it. And then when it comes time to be on it, oh, dude, I can't make it. I got
this in the morning, that
I've got nothing to do. I've got nothing to do, and I've got to do it really badly, you know? But I really love your show and I want to be on it. Dude, we wrote a role specifically for you.
That's what they don't understand. Our skits actually revolve around our friends and people saying they want to be a part of our show.
Right.
We write them into the script. We're like, our shit revolves around you, and then they bail on us.
Yeah, so now we're stuck trying to do a review for Pain and Gain about a half a week after it already came out. So we're like 4 days late on the review.
Sorry.
It's an awesome movie, by the way. We had an awesome skit planned, but our two
Douche.
partakers decided they weren't cool enough to join us. I was thinking maybe that was them on the phone. See, this is what bothers me. This is what bothers me the most about this. Okay, you can't come, that's fine. But at least work up the balls to say, hey, I can't make it. Not with the, no, don't tell me, hey, y'all make it. Well, after I told you 4 times that I was gonna make it, I don't know, you know.
After we moved the shoot back 3 times.
3 days for you, and you still are fucking giving us the little test in the water with your toe bullshit, you know. And then we're like, okay, we're doing it tonight, and they're like, okay, we can do it. And then like 3 hours later, they're like, well, maybe. The fuck has changed? You've been working for 3 hours. You couldn't have made plans. So either you just decided to blow us off, you got cold feet, whatever, you know.
And everybody who knows about this show, everyone who wants to be involved with it, we've been working on this for a year now. They knew this was coming. We told them we were going to do it. They all wanted to be part of it, and every one of them bailed on us.
And I'm like, at least call us and just say, hey, Josh, yeah, you know, something came up, I can't make it.
That's fine.
Give us the heads up. Give us some knowledge so we can go, okay, you know, or hey, you know what? I thought about it and I don't want to do it. You know, that'll work too.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
We keep getting that stupid, I'm gonna do it. Alright, you sound so confident, we're gonna do the script for you. We do the script, we write down the skit, we have it all planned out, and then comes the shoot day, nope. And then we move it because they have plans, so we try to adjust around their schedules, and they still can't work around everything, so they keep lying to us, we're gonna do it, no, then we can't do it, and then the day comes to where it's like, there's no point of return now, and they still blow us off for it.
The thing that kills me is we write this script ideas for specific movies. So when we have an idea for one of our friends who wants to do the thing, our script is planned around them specifically for the movie, and then they fail on us, and then
it ruins it.
It ruins it. We had a great script.
We can't be part of Pain and Gain.
We had an awesome script for Pain and Gain.
There's no muscle here,
right? You know, and we can't do it now. So we're just gonna have to give you a straight up review for it, and we've got, I think, a couple of we've got an addition to the last episode, Evil Dead. Has a little thing at the end. We've made it into I made it into about a 7-minute movie now. I gotta work some final editing touches on it. We'll get it up on there hopefully by the end of the week.
With that, that thing is, it was an extended project. That's why that one took so long. This one's taking longer because everyone bailed on us.
At the same time, we're probably going to cut back our things, and we're going to try to do more skits. So, because we're having more fun doing it, and
we really are.
Everyone's saying that our skits are better than the reviews, because apparently we're very opinionated about our movies.
And we tend to ramble.
Some people like G.I. Joe, and there's no accounting for taste. Okay,
I want to hear from him.
So, on to the movie in question this week.
Wow, Pain and Gain!
Oh, it was awesome. It was. Michael Bay actually did a good movie. I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss for words. You can ask him. I've been all over the place all week. I've been happy, sad, happy. I don't know how to feel anymore.
He was in there. One of the other workers was like, "I saw it. It's a great movie." And he was like, "It's a Michael Bay movie, man."
I was like, Michael Bay, come on, man. It's Michael Bay.
But it's not. It's Michael Bay's name, but it's not a Michael Bay movie.
I watched it, and it's freaking amazing. Now the whole
thing
scares
me.
The whole thing is based on a true story.
Which scares me.
Which, yeah, after you watch the movie, you'll be like, no way. You know what? And it's so crazy that halfway through the movie, they even repost her up on the screen. This is still based on a real story. They took all the events from things that happened in real life, and some of the events they took are
Questionable?
not questionable, but scary. Just scary in general.
Lacking IQ.
I definitely. That was the funny parts, though. All the funny parts, man. Oh my God, these guys were so.
I wanted to Google it and to see if it actually happened like that.
Right.
I still believe some of those things were fudged a little.
Some of the lines. I think my favorite line wasn't actually said, but it doesn't matter.
I don't think it's
I think
even
it was
actually the
your
lines.
favorite line too.
I don't actually think it was the lines. I think it might have been verbatim situation. I'm thinking the situations.
I'm gonna ruin this line for him. I have
Go
to.
for it.
My favorite line in this movie. I think it's gonna be everyone's favorite line in the movie when everything is said and done. Well, I don't know. The Rock is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry, I have to use a cuss word to properly
One of
describe
his top actors.
just how hilarious he is. It's his next. I've never seen anything like this from The Rock. Anyways, one of his lines is he goes, "Pepe, why'd you make me do that? The good Lord has granted me with some abilities, and one of those abilities is knock you the fuck out." And he says this right after he knocks some guy the fuck out. He's like, he said, knock you the. It's just hilarious. You gotta see it. I'm telling you.
I didn't see Tony Shalhoub in there. Like I didn't expect him to be there.
Right?
He did good, but I'm so used to seeing him in shows like Monk and
Men in Black.
Men in
you know,
Black.
little fucking
Wings from back in the day.
Right?
Yeah, people
My
didn't know
girl knows the bowling score. I'm
Sorry.
never gonna forget that episode. I'm sorry.
that. Very unprofessional. I'm just tired of my phone vibrating. Sorry.
Let's see. There was just so many good parts. They're all centered around The Rock. Really, they were. Mark Wahlberg does awesome.
He was the only reason I had faith in this movie. I've said it before.
But The Rock, dude, The Rock was the.
I was iffy.
Oh no, you're waiting for The Rock's next line. That's I'm telling you. You're like, what? Oh shit! No, he didn't. He said that. I went there. He did it. He did it. And then you're like, okay, what's he gonna? Oh shit! He just. Oh for real. Oh my god.
And I'm with you on that. It turned out to be more based on what The Rock says and does. But like my whole thing was, I don't think Mark Wahlberg does bad movies.
I think it was more comedy than it was action. Oh yeah,
It really
definitely
was.
agree with you on the Mark Wahlberg thing.
He only does good movies.
I haven't seen a bad Mark Wahlberg movie.
Now I can't believe
And I've watched his earlier shit. I watched The Big Hit. One of the first movies he's ever did.
movie.
The Big Hit is amazing.
Watch it, Netflix it.
Lou Diamond Phillips,
I miss him.
right?
I don't care what it was. Lou, come back.
Where are you, dude?
We miss you. Bring
Emilio with you. Bring
You
Emilio
and Bruce
with you.
Campbell need to do a movie together.
Right, with Emilio Estevez. And just like a mockumentary about 1980s movies. Not
Exactly.
bad 1980s movies.
But no, I
your
never
movies were bad, Lou. I'm sorry, they were bad. But you know what? We love you for them because those bad movies are why we're here today. I think.
Exactly. But my thing is, I've never seen Mark Wahlberg do a bad movie, and I can't believe I'm going to be the one to say this. I enjoyed Ted the first time around, but it's one and done for me.
Yeah.
I don't feel watching it over and over again. It was a good movie, but it's not like
Because it's shock value. It's one of those shock value movies.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't like those shock value movies. They're good.
like one time.
Like pretty much all scary movies. All not scary movies. I'm sorry. Most of those comedies that come out now. Scary Movie is an example of the comedies that I'm talking about. If you're lucky, you get one good view out of it, and then after that, it's just terrible.
Yes.
Because honestly, I dare anyone who has the ability to say they watched any one of the scary movies
Multiple
on
times.
DVD or at TV with only one or two people. Everyone who watches a comedy in the theater is always going to come out saying it's awesome because there's always going to be those 5 to 10 people that think everything is over the top hilarious and they're going to laugh, and laughing is infectious because when someone's laughing you can't help but to laugh too, even if it's over the stupidest thing in the world, because then you're laughing at how stupid they are because they think that stupid thing is funny, and it's just...
It's effective.
And that's how Scary Movie 1 through 5 exists, you know? They're not good movies. If you watch them by yourself, you won't enjoy them. It's just
your
the ambiance
IQ drop a
noise.
little.
Yeah, and afterwards, you literally think to yourself, I could have
Read a book.
I could have got
Went
a job
outside.
shaving someone's balls and been more productive with my time than watch Scary Movie 5.
I could have watched some paint dry.
Never mind the fact that the few sequences I've seen of Scary Movie 5, the editing was probably the worst editing I've ever seen in my life.
He's an editing Nazi, believe it or not.
And I've got people in my class, my production class, that don't know what they're doing with the editing program, and I'm 100% positive they could have done a better job.
Like I said, he is an editing Nazi. We can watch an entire movie, and the movie can be perfect from start to finish, and he can sit there and watch two little scenes where the editing's off, and he will bitch the entire time about that.
He says, I'm a Nazi. I have a friend who, if he sees a continuity error, the movie's over for him.
That's kind of like with projecting.
One thing, like if you see the hat forward and then the next scene the hat's backward, and you don't actually see the guy turn it around. That's it. He's done. He can't watch the rest of the movie because now that he's going to spend the rest of the movie analyzing it and nitpicking every little thing. And when it's all said and done, he's going to walk out with like a list. And this guy's got a photographic memory for movies. He sees it once, he's good. He watched I think The Dark Knight once, and he was able to quote almost all of the Joker's lines 3 months later. That's how crazy this guy's memory is. And he's like one of those guys that goes on IMDb and fills out all those little, this is where they messed up things, you know?
Nice.
He doesn't do it, but I think that he could, and he could do a better job than some of the people that do it.
In the defense of that, Dark Knight was a great movie. I'm pretty sure anybody can do that. But when it also comes to that and that aspect, it's kind of like where we're coming from nowadays and where we used to be, like as projectionists, when we go to watch a movie and we notice little things where the projectionist messed up making the movie, putting it together, the sound and everything, we can sit there and be like, okay, that's wrong, and it kind of pulls us out of the movie.
And bring that up, I want to blast out a movie theater here. Okay.
Wait, let me finish.
Go ahead. I'm going to blast movie theater next.
And then as we slowly progress, if you guys notice, we went from our reviews to our skit. We're trying to get a little more serious with our filming. We're starting to notice a little more things in other movies where it's like, okay, we wouldn't have done that, we would do that, and then as soon as that happens, it kind of pulls us out of the movies. So I think where your friend comes from, are we thinking the same friend, the one who's always over here, John?
No.
Okay, a different friend.
But he has that problem too.
John, yeah, see,
I was referring to someone else who's even worse than John.
yeah, it's kind of like if you're a car person, if you have a nice car and your car's decked out, and then you watch
details.
You notice all the little details.
Little details.
You can find somebody with an amazing car, but as soon as you see the chip in the paint, you're like, your car's a piece of crap, man. Yeah. And that's how it is when you start doing movies and things like that. Now I'm gonna let Josh go on his little.
Okay, now my blast out is I don't know that many people that know about theaters, but 70 millimeter IMAX theaters. There's only like 100 of them in the world. This is absolutely the best quality of film that you can watch
to date.
And to date, yes. Well, that's gonna be it because they're dropping film, but. As it stands, film is still just a little bit above digital in quality as far as frame rate and pixelation and all that shit. So, I mean, give it a couple of years and digital will catch up, but still, that's your average film. 70 millimeter film is leagues and leagues and leagues above your average film. So we go to this special movie theater to watch The Dark Knight Rises opening night, okay? On the best quality fucking film the world knows. The best quality picture we can get.
We pay like $20 a movie ticket.
We pay $17 a ticket. We go down to this movie theater, and I'm going to blast it out. It's down in San Antonio, Texas. So, you know what? Word's out. We live in Texas. Come and find us if you want. We love groupies. And you know what? If you can actually hang around for a while, we will put you on the show. You know? Of course, we're going to have a no-tolerance policy to where if you're not going to come the first day of, well then, fuck you, you're out. Anyways, so $17 a ticket for these tickets, okay? We buy them in advance. Now, to begin my experience, when we get to this movie theater, I'm ignored, okay? I'm ignored by the box office attendant. And all I wanted to ask her is hey, we bought online tickets. We've already got our tickets. Do we need to check in? This is all I want to ask her. And I have to sit there and watch this lady do nothing for like 3 minutes, then get an attitude with me because I'm interrupting her doing nothing to ask the simple, stupid question, and all she's got to do is say yes or no or anything like that. You know, I'm just like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I just want to check in. I haven't been here. I haven't, gone through this process with you guys. Actually, I have, but it was like 5 years ago, and policies changed and things like that. And I never did the pre-buy reserve seating, so I wanted to make sure that everything was as copacetic. She gets mad at me, gives me attitude, and then she blows me off, and then she tells me to wait, and then I wait like another 5 fucking minutes for her to stand there and, I don't know, circle jerk her mind, whatever she was doing, I don't know. By far the rudest person I've ever seen in my life. And then we go through this process where we check in, because apparently you're supposed to check in, even though she said you didn't have to, which I was like, okay, if we don't have to, then why are you making us check in, you know? So, okay, whatever. That process is done with. Then it's a 5-minute interrogation to figure out where the fuck we're supposed to go. Because this movie theater's in the mall, and apparently the box office is down below, and all the theaters are up above, and they're all apart from each other. Now, when we saw the screen, it made a little bit of sense of why they did this, but at the same time, you know, some signs telling us something, you know, some employees, you know, that, you know, gave a shit would have been nice, you know. Okay, we go upstairs to where we're supposed to go to the waiting room. Now, the concession stand is right there. Now, to get onto the concession stand, there was 2 people in the concession stand. The shit was dirty. Probably the dirtiest concession stand I've ever seen, and I've gone to some ghetto-ass movie theaters before. Let me just clarify that right quick.
We all have.
The dirtiest concession stand I've ever seen, and this is supposed to be top-of-the-line IMAX experience, and the theater looks like shit, you know? So, you know, of course, at this point, we're pissed off. I'm so mad that I'm not hungry, and if you can't tell, I'm a fat fucking bastard.
We spent like an hour at Walmart earlier.
If I get mad because I'm hungry, or I get so mad that I'm not hungry, we're talking next level anger, you know? So we go up there, and there's absolutely no signs as for what theater we're watching this movie in. No signs, you know? We see a poster on the wall, and it's not even next to a door, so we assume that it's over there somewhere. So we just stand there. There's no lines, there's no signs directing us where to go, where to wait, no anything. There's chairs, but they're so far away from the door that we're like, if we go and sit down, it's going to be a fight for the things. Man, I'm trying not to fart right now, so if I get a little weird. So, okay. So then we just stand there. Now, our show starts at, I think, 7:30 was when our show was supposed to start. Or 9 o'clock. No, it was 7:30. So we're just standing there. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. Now we got there half an hour early, so we're waiting. We're waiting. It's 7:20. Still waiting. Have no fucking clue what's going on. 7:25. Still waiting. No clue. Some other people have showed up, so now we're crowding in towards the door we think is the right door. We're not at the front yet, but we're just kind of chilling there, you know. We're waiting. It's 7:30. Still nothing. No one said anything to us. Now the place is actually packed with people, and instead of forming some kind of a line, we're all just kind of crowded in the fucking lobby, right? The most half-assed giant spectacle I've ever seen in my entire life. So at this point, we're pretty close to the door. So now it's become like this passive-aggressive shoving match to who's gonna get in first, right? So we're like, well, we got reserved seating, so we're not gonna fight. We're gonna let all the assholes that want to fight get in there, and then we're just gonna slowly move with the crowd. We're near the front, so it's not that big a deal, right? Okay, 7:35. Our movie's supposed to start at 7:30. What the fuck is going on? We haven't even seen a goddamn employee except for the 2 people in concessions that are standing there doing nothing, mind you. I wanted to let them know, great fucking job at doing nothing. You guys were, I mean, by far better. I've seen some lazy employees in my day, but you guys, whoo, take the cake. Okay? 7:40. Some fucking jackass comes out and opens the door. And this is literally what he does. He walks out, he comes out the door, he looks at the crowd, and then we're like, hey, is this the Dark Knight? Doesn't say shit to us, looks at the crowd, turns around, right? People start moving in, he turns back around and puts his hand up like, stop, wait. We're like, what the fuck? Opens the doors, and then he's like, okay, you can go in, and then he walks away. Like, literally.
So you walked into a theater that you weren't even sure if it was your right theater.
So then, okay, naturally, there's 400 people trying to get into a movie that they were supposed to watch 10 minutes ago. Now, mind you, we know that this is like a 3-hour-long movie, so 10 minutes is gonna fuck up your day if you don't, you know.
Yeah.
So now, we're all fucking fighting to get into the goddamn movie theater. We get in there, we get the reserved seating up front, we got the best seats in the house, we honestly do, because my boy, who knows, the guy with the great memory, he knows what he's doing when he comes to buying seats. He bought all the seats and then we reimbursed him later. Exactly. So we got best seats in the house. We're in the middle. We're right at the split section to where there's no one behind us. Mm-hmm. So everyone's sitting in front of us. So we don't have to worry about some jackass kicking the back of our seats. At the same time, we're about in the middle of the theater. So best fucking seats possible, right? The seats have no cushion. And, well, they have a little bit of cushion, and they're like bolted down to the plastic underneath. Because it was like stadium seating, and they put like a thin layer of cushions. So you sit down, but the cushion sucked so bad that you could feel the bolts that were holding the cushion in the seat. So I had like 4 bolt implants on my ass from where the bolts were, you know. There's no seat, the back seat was seats, I'm crammed in there, I'm a fat guy, and I barely fit into the seat, okay. Now, I know why I'm fat, but for God's sakes, I'm not that fucking fat. I'm not, okay. So I squeeze into the seats. The armrests are about an inch wide. The fuck was that? I thought it was at a cheap fucking baseball stadium, you know? And the cheap seats up in the top, you know, were the ones that let the fucking Mongols get in for free, you know? So we're sitting there, and then everyone's coming in to seat. They double sold our seats. Now, this is what kills me, okay? We got reserved seating. We bought our fucking tickets like a week in advance. And they double sold our seats. And I was like, what pisses me off is this was the whole fucking reason I went to box office in the first place to confirm whether or not we needed to check in. And that bitch turned around and fucking resold our seats. Not only was she rude, but she was incompetent too.
The trifecta.
Yeah. So she's like, this is my seat. This is my ticket. Says I'm in this seat. This is my seat. You need to go talk to a manager. Okay. So that's wonderful right there. Now, I'm a projectionist. I've been a projectionist for about 4 to 5 years of my life
2
now.
years on me.
So I notice things, and honestly, you didn't have to be a projectionist. I mean, the only way you wouldn't have to notice if it was Ray Charles, or a blind fucking monkey. The projector was not lined up properly with the screen. Now, any projectionist worth anything in his life knows that that is absolutely unacceptable, okay? Now, I can imagine with the 70mm IMAX that it's very touchy, you know? It might have even been a grain of salt off to the left, and that's why it's not lined up properly. But at the same time, when you have that level of a quality of a machine, that shit should be dialed in perfectly.
Every time.
Your tech should have been able to fix that shit in a matter of seconds.
They might have the same tech we have.
Maybe that's what it was, okay? But, I mean, it was off a greatest, like I said, it may be off just a little bit, maybe a millimeter off, you know? But what it looks like on the screen is the entire fucking 1 foot section of that ginormous screen was nothing but black fuzz, okay? And on this side, you had a 1 foot section that was on the side wall. So like you're watching the movie, and the movie, like it's supposed to be here, but it's actually like this, you know? And every fucking scene, I'm noticing that. It's fucking driving me crazy, okay? Now, that is fucking balls as hell. They get one step better, the fucking sound is off. Now, I don't mean it's turned off. I mean, their sound machine doesn't sound like it's working properly, you know? There's buzzing to the speakers. It sounds like some of their speakers are blown, you know? And normally, I could get over the sound thing really easily, but the picture being fucked up thing, that just... I spent much of my time as a projectionist making sure shit like that didn't happen, and it's a really easy fix, you know? It's called duct tape. It just perplexes my mind because honestly, I enjoyed the movie. I loved the movie. Granted, it wasn't the best. Fucking Batman Dark Knight was way better than Dark Knight Rises, but that's beside the point. Dark Knight was better than Dark Knight Rises. That's besides the point. What really pisses me off is that the movie was good enough where after the movie I didn't want to say anything. Because at that point, after 2.5 hours, I was like, man, this movie was good, I'm pumped, I like it, but in the back of my head, I'm still thinking this was the worst movie experience I've ever had in my life.
The funny thing is, with his little story, it actually loops back around to what we were complaining about at the beginning of our video. He didn't mention it, I don't know why. Yes, he bought his tickets a week in advance, and he went to everyone he knows and was like, we're going here, do you want to buy it? And one of our friends was like, I'm in, I'm with you. You know, I get paid this Friday.
He had a reason. Shit happened.
I understand.
But he didn't say anything.
That's the thing. He didn't say anything.
I gave him a pass on it because some fucked up shit happened in his life. But at the same time, he could have called and said, hey, this is what's going down.
That's my beef.
Instead of not saying anything to me, which I agree with his beef on that, you know. A heads up, dude. Communication, okay?
That's $20 down the drain.
Communication is how relationships survive, you know, whether it's a friendship, whether it's an intimate other, or anything like that.
You think we'd be able to keep this show if we
is the
talk?
key. We talk, you know. Well, I wouldn't say what we do is talk. A little more scream at each other and argue, and sometimes
this movie was good. This movie sucked. This movie was okay. This movie wasn't bad.
We throw a lot of shit too. There's that. Yeah.
Why do you think you only ever see this?
Yeah, because you don't want to know what's behind the posters.
Where is it?
It's Insidious. I thought was covering it up. There's a hole somewhere over here. Who the fuck knows? All right, so. Whatever. Pain and Gain, fucking awesome. Go check it out. We've talked for way too long.
Yes, we have.
We broke our rule, our 5-minute rule, our 10-minute rule, our 15-minute rule.
This was the
exception.
exception.
20, I don't know.
This is the exception because we had a lot to rant about. And you know what? With our skit, we would have tied this in.
We need to do an episode where we just bitch about customers at a movie theater.
I don't have enough time in the day for that.
Right.
We would have to do an hour special.
I don't know. We couldn't put it up. We would get in trouble because people might find out when we work too. They probably already
they
know when we
wouldn't.
work. You're wearing the shirt right now. I know it's covered up, but it doesn't matter. We're very distinct, individual, attractive male personas.
You can walk in the building and be like, hey, you're that guy.
I know that guy.
We've seen you. You called me an asshole.
Can I get your number?
That's exactly how it's going to go down.
All right.
Pain and Gain, watch it, loved it, liked it. Google it and tell us if it was true.
Or C.
C4.